Letter 321. To the Lady Ardross in Fife. There is an Ardross near Ferintosh in Ross-Shire. Lady Ardross, whose maiden name was Helen Lindsay, was the daughter of Lady Christian Hamilton, eldest daughter of Thomas, 1st Earl of Haddington, by her first husband Robert, 9th Lord Lindsay of Byres. She was married to Sir William Scott of Ardross, son of Sir W. Scott of Ely. Her daughter, Euphemia, Countess of Dundonald, some 30 years after this, attended field conventicles and entertained the field preachers at her house. Douglas, Peerage, Volume 1, page 386. This letter was written to her on the occasion of the death of her mother, who was then Lady Boyd, having married for her second husband, Robert, 6th Lord Boyd. See notice of Lady Boyd. Letter 77. On her mother's death, happiness of heaven and blessedness of dying in the Lord. Madam, grace, mercy, and peace be to you. It hath seemed good, as I hear, to him that hath appointed the bounds of the number of our months, to gather in a sheaf of ripe corn in the death of your Christian mother into his garner. It is the more evident that winter is near, when apples, without the violence of wind, fall of their own accord off the tree. She is now above the winter, with a little change of place, not of a Saviour, only she enjoyeth him now, without messages, and in his own immediate presence, from whom she heard by letters and messengers before. I grant that death is to her a very new thing, but heaven was prepared of old, and Christ, as enjoyed in his highest throne, and as loaded with glory, and incomparably exalted above men and angels, having such a heavenly circle of glorified harpers and musicians above, compassing the throne with a song, is to her a new thing, but so new as the first summer rose, or the first fruits of that heavenly field, or as a new paradise to a traveller broken and worn out of breath with the sad occurrences of a long and dirty way. Ye may easily judge, madam, what a large recompense is made to all her service, her walking with God, and her sorrows, with the first cast of the soul's eye upon the shining and admirably beautiful face of the Lamb, that is in the midst of that fair and white army which is there, and with the first draught and taste of the fountain of life, fresh and new at the well-head, to say nothing of the enjoying of that face without date, for more than this term of life which we now enjoy. And it cost her no more to go thither than to suffer death to do her this piece of service. For by him who was dead and is alive, she was delivered from the second death. What then? Is the first death to the second? Not a scratch of the skin of a finger to the endless second death. And now she sitteth for eternity, male free, in a very considerable land, which hath more than 4 summers in the year. Oh, what springtime is there! Even the smelling of the odours of that great and eternally blooming rose of Sharon, for ever and ever. What a singing life is there! There is not a dumb bird in all that large field, but all sing and breathe out heaven, joy, glory, dominion to the high prince of that new-found land. And verily, the land is the sweeter that Jesus Christ paid so dear a rent for it, and he is the glory of the land, all which I hope doth not so much mitigate and allay your grief for her part, though truly this should seem sufficient, as the unerring expectation of the dawning of that day upon yourself, and the hope you have of the fruition of that same King and kingdom to your own soul. Certainly the hope of it, when things look so dark like on both kingdoms, must be an exceedingly great quickening to languishing spirits who are far from home while we are here. What misery to have both a bad way all the day, and no hope of lodging at night! But he hath taken up your lodging for you. I can say no more now, but I pray that the very God of peace may establish your heart to the end. I rest, madam, your ladyships, at all respective obedience in the Lord. Samuel Rutherford, London, February the 24th, 1646.